So to illustrate the game metaphor, this slide shows all the applicants at SUNY Optometry, and they're all seeking that one seat. At SUNY Optometry, we have an admissions committee comprised of 3 faculty members who actually interview students. So here they are determining and they're evaluating the applicants to see who is that purple cow, who is really that student, that candidate that will stand out. And then there's 2 other people you see here. It's me and Mr. Alberto, my assistant director, who actually will guide you and coach you through the process and work with the admissions committee as well. This is a very interesting article that was published at the Wall Street Journal about this girl who was ranting about the fact that she received some advice from an admissions director who told her, if you want admissions into your dream school, don't worry about it. Just be yourself. Be yourself and everything is going to be all right. And we know that that's not true. Just being yourself, and that's what she talks about in the article that she's ranting about, is that just being herself was not enough. She did not get accepted into her first choice schools. And why is that true? Because again, it's not about just being yourself. It's about being yourself and meeting those standards that we talked about and that we will discuss throughout this presentation. So remember, it's not about yourself anymore. It's not about your wants and desires. It's about the standards of the game and do you meet it or not. The way you do it is by being your best self. So that's what you have to try to be, your best self, and not just yourself. To win this game, you really have to know the battleground. You have to know what the standards that are being asked of you are, know the battleground, know who your competition is, know what are the standards expected by each school that you're going to apply for. And you also need to know yourself, including your strengths and weaknesses. So in knowing the process and understanding the process, understanding the battleground, what I want you to do is to think about what is the role of admissions in professional school, particularly professional schools that relate to healthcare, including optometry. What is the role of an admissions officer and of an admissions person like me and of the admissions committee? So again, when we think about the battleground of admissions, think about what is the role of the admissions committee. The role of the admissions committee, and I absolutely love this quote that says that in giving you admissions, pretty much what I'm doing is I'm giving you a license. If you come to my school and I give you admissions, I want you to be a doctor. We'll make everything possible for you to graduate. So pretty much what I'm doing, I'm saying that this person, you have what it takes, not only to be a good student, but also to be a good clinician and a good doctor. And not only that, you also are a good candidate to be wearing and to be representing the name of my school after you graduating, and wearing that patch that you have earned by being admitted into, let's say, SUNY Optometry, for example. If I give you admissions, these are all the things that I'm giving you a green light for you to do, for you to not only be a clinician and treat patients and cure patients, but also carry that SUNY patch for the rest of your life. And that's a lot of responsibility. What you have to be asking yourself is that, do you have what it takes to be the kind of candidate? So how do we determine if you're worthy of that license? The role of admissions is to actually predict future behavior. So what you have to be thinking right now is you have to start thinking like an admissions committee member. And what is an admissions? What is the evidence that we have as admissions folks that you are going to have a future behavior that meets our standards? We look at past behavior. That's why we look at your grades. That's why we look at how well you're doing standardized tests. That's why we look at how involved you were, your leadership skills and volunteerism, how much you were involved at your school or in your community. What we are trying to do, what we are trying to answer are the following questions. First of all, are you going to be a good student in the first 2 years in our program? And for that, we look at your grades, we look at your standardized tests. Are you going to be a good clinician? That's where the interview comes in. When we look at your interpersonal skills, how well you can relate to people. How good of a doctor are you going to be? And that also pertains to your interpersonal skills and critical thinking, reflective thinking skills. And also, how involved are you going to be on my campus? And that again will depend on how involved you were in the past. So start thinking about it. Start thinking like an admissions committee member and asking the questions that they will be asking of you.